Hi guys, it's Jet, and I am returning for what is probably episode 20, I think. Sorry, my cat decides this is the good time to harass me. Please go away. Poor cat never gets any attention. And why is that map loading so slow? Okay, so maybe it's because there's so many. I have been slightly busy, poking away at my place. I've filled out the content room a little bit. I have not labeled anything, but there is some organization, armors and stuff. Ooh. Magic and book-related things, maps. What maps are these? I think I have duplicates on the wall. Music, for lack of anything else. Some soils. More soils. Ooh. Random stuff at this point. Glass. Note I have most of the glass on me at the moment for a reason. Cobble. Mossy cobble. Planty stuff. Ooh. Random stone. Maps. This is the mining town. Not too far from me on the mainland. That down there is my hut, which you guys saw just a couple episodes ago. That is Origin, the center of the universe, and a tower, which caffeine fell from, which is sad. Clock. Do I have anything else? Oh, and the island. I accidentally increased the size of the map instead of duplicating the map, so I actually wanted it to be more zoomed in. That I'll have to make a new one. What else? Tools. Well, weapony. Random tools, okay. Animal stuff. Non-weaponing tools. Random valuables. Stone. Fabricated stone. Woody products. Nothing. And you've probably seen all this before. So yeah, that was a waste of time. Anyways, I am, let's see, glass, gravel, stone. I could probably use more of that. Just down here. Let me bring it all, practically. Do I need any wood at this point? I do not. Stone slabs. I will probably need more of those, because I am going to remember or forget where I put everything just now after having seen it only just a moment ago. Okay, so let's make some more white slabs. Boink. Now, I have finished most of the rooms, and I've also put in railing. Oh, and caffeine has left me a treat. That was a couple days ago now. I discovered, thankfully, that even though there's a gap here, I cannot get through it. So I'm hoping the same is for testificates. So, I still need to put in some doorways. Let's see. Rooms, but see, the rooms are mostly done. And mostly well lit. There's some inconsistency from one side to another, but that's okay. This guy over here is not finished yet. Doors, rooms. I was a little bit torn on how to hold one up, but I figured this is good enough, isn't it? I kind of like that. It's sort of important at this point to get some differing textures as well. Need doors. Let's see. Small room. I still have to decide what to do about this little balcony that looks into dirt. The other one on the other side does not. Room. Cat, don't make weird noises. Room. Yeah, obviously. Corridor. See, I put again, low ceilings. Someday I may have to come up with a stairwell pattern that is allows for doing this, but not quite so... ooh, crap. Whew, okay. Anyways. Yep. Room. One of the drawbacks of having put all this in is I can't quite get up and down as fast as I used to. But here we go. So, blink. Let's see. I'll show you more. I'm thinking, see how it ends here, but there's this nub that goes out? I'm thinking of maybe bridging across the nub and having like a little bendy plaza. And, the same thing, not down there, but, the next one up right here. to... I think that would be good, wouldn't it? So here, more rooms, because rooms are mystical. And we go around the bend to the bottom of the little plaza. I'm going to have to... I need one more... So I don't have a silk touch anymore. I need one more grass so I can fill these out with grass. But here's more rooms. Blah, blah, blah. Where does this go? Oh. So kind of a multi-room place. This big room. Ooh. Hamburgers. That probably should be more like this. Oh, yeah, because I have been filling these up like that. I'll just do that as a reference for later. Then this goes around. No, it doesn't. Uh-oh. Cat's looking at me from behind the laptop monitor. He's looking like murder to me. You're a cat. You really are. So, Caffeine sent me a anonymous question at one point to try to help things along, asking if I was a cat or dog person, and I'm squarely in the cat bracket, but I like dogs. They need so much attention. I can't be responsible for a dog. I mean, as it is, I'm not paying enough attention to the cat, and that says a lot, I guess. It helps that I have to work long hours and do side projects when I get home and stuff like that. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I get too much into that, I adjusted the textures of the houses to give some, break up the monotony a little bit. So you get the groove and you got these cobbled corners. So I'm wondering how this looks to you guys. Especially this one, which is getting closer to as tall as they're going to get. Like, I'm thinking... So you guys have seen this before a little bit, but here we'll go anyways. The side rooms. You go up. Notice if you go down, we're on the floor below, into internal rooms that you cannot access from the outside. Ooh, that's where I put my bed. From the outside world. So these are like the quasi-basements. But we keep going up. And somehow I missed that room. Oh, no, I didn't. I just walked right past it. Okay. So I'm torn on what to do with the roofs a little bit. And whether or not this works at all, really. But there you have it. I have to do the same on the other side. So you can see they're started. But I don't want to go as tall as this before I know that this is actually what I want to do. And these four are going to have to be basically the same as each other. That one over there can be unique, though it should share some commonalities like in texture and stuff. Okay, so cat and dogs. I like cats because they're pretty self-sufficient, whereas dogs are really, really, really need a lot of... They need a pack. They're not designed to not be in a pack. So while I appreciate that, it's not really something I can contribute to. So I like to visit dogs, but not... I wouldn't want to be responsible for one just yet anyways. Let's see. Oh. So what I was going to do? I think the plan now... Don't you dare chew wires. Is to make the tower at this end. You can see I just barely started. Like, this determines the direction it's going to go in. So actually I got to get rid of these. Woohoo! Oi. And I made some placeholder here. This will be all glass. So let's... Oops, no, don't do that. I don't know. Should I go straight to the bottom with the glass, do you think? Oh, well, I can't waste time on it. Let's just go, let's do this much. Because this will be our guide, or help our stairwell get down. Having this. So this is important right here. So let's see. Right, so I had a bit of an adventure yesterday. I wandered home. Well, I took the metro home, as I always... Well, not always, but mostly always do. Sometimes I bike. I'm not sure into what detail I should get. But heading south from where I am, the metro splits. Or actually, it shares two different lines, share the same track for a while. And I live at the end of one. And that's as descriptive as I should get about that, I suppose, just so that, internet troll assassins don't, come after me. But I do argue on the internet a lot, so you never know about these things. Okay, so point being, is that right? Sorry, I have to remember how to do this. Okay, somewhere, well, actually, while sitting on the first line, because I do have to switch somewhere along the way, and there's multiple stops I could do it, but somewhere along the line I have to switch trains to the other color. And while I was sitting on the first one, I pulled out my phone and promptly, the Metro card fell out of my pocket, and I didn't know. So I left it on the train, and I didn't find out about that until I'd gone all the way to the end and didn't have my card to get out of the system. So I was kind of like, a little upset by this. I was making certain obscene sounds, and not obscene, just impolite. Hello, let's go back again to the surface. And sorry for the delay. So I got back on the train, which thankfully was still there, and headed back to the place where I had transitioned from one line to the other. And see, the train on my line, when it reaches the end, the driver just gets out, assuming the driver is staying on, but the driver just gets out. I don't think I got my slab back. And goes to the other end of the train and then drives off from that direction. So it doesn't loop, it just literally reverses direction. And I operated at this point under the theory that the other line did the same thing. And of course, this is just a complete guess on my part. I didn't know if this was true. I just had really nothing else to go on. But I doubled back to the station where I'd switched, and I waited for the other line to come, to the other line train. Oh, for crying out loud. This stinks. I hate this. Especially when it's interrupting my storytelling and I end up telling you the same thing 3 times. So yeah, I waited, and I had to jostle around because the length of the trains vary somewhat, and I wasn't sure which one I was on. Sometimes they're 8 cars, sometimes they're 6 long, that is. And so the first one that came along was 8, so I had to go all the way to the end, and I checked the seat where I had supposedly been sitting, if that were my train, and it wasn't there. So I got off immediately, and I waited, and the next a couple of different ones came along that were not of the same line, so I knew I didn't need to check those. But from there, the next one that came along that did need to be checked was 6 cars, so I had to shift my position so that I would be waiting at the end where I had been sitting, because I was sitting at the front on the way out, so it would be at the back on the way back, right? So and it came along, and I checked, and bang, there it was. I was like, oh, yay. I got my stupid card back. That was a bit of an adventure. But the interesting thing was, I went back on the train I came in on, and there was a newspaper discarded, as they often are, which drives me nuts. But there was a discarded, I need these, newspaper on the seat next to me, and I didn't do anything about it. And then the first alternate train that I did need to check had the same edition of the same newspaper sitting on the same, relatively speaking, the same seat. So I thought that was a little strange, but it's not uncommon for everyone practically to leave their stuff lying around like that. And then the third train, the one that I actually found the cards on, same thing. Same edition of the same newspaper on the same seat. Again, relatively speaking. At that point, it was getting a bit creepy. So we're talking like the Matrix repeating itself and stuff. But apparently, if that's the case, the Matrix likes me well enough to have returned my Metro cards to me. Oh, friggin' stuff. Stink. Because English, right? Oh my gosh. That's really maddening. I don't know why. It's got to be a function of lag. I mean, I since this is based out of London, for the benefit of the two Europeans on there, it's not as kind to those of us in the United States. It might move if they'll allow me. It might move to Virginia once caffeine is over here for good, which wouldn't be super thrilling for Fabian, who's still stuck in Europe, but it wouldn't be the end of the world either. Let's see, especially since he's been quite busy lately, so you can only prioritize so much. Okay, so let's see. I don't need to go back. So that was the adventure from yesterday. Oh, for crying out monkey crap. This is not cool. Is this going anywhere? Oh, okay. What about the other one? Let me get that one. My next adventure is to give a talk at the Pearl Mongers meetup next Tuesday, actually, a week from this recording time. Actually, pretty much exactly a week from this recording time, we'll be heading upstairs to begin the meeting. And I have to give a talk on how to submit modules to the CPAN. Oh, for crying out! I'm doing so well. Oh. Cat, you're not... No, seriously. This is not playtime. But when is playtime? Is this right? Yes, it is. Let me hiccup for you. Wasn't that amazing? Oh, jeez, I'm not feeling this. This is uncool in the extreme. Hello, my phone. It had something important to say. How did I mess this one up? This one's messed up. Oh, criminy. How many lost blocks are down here now? Sorry, well, blocks are kind of precious to me, so I don't want to lose them. Brocks. Okay. Oh, good. Because we needed streaming. Well, actually, that will be... Oh, punk. my multitasking skills are non-existent. But I've mentioned this before. So let's see. Can I do this now? Can you hear me now? I did actually switch to a better provider. I mean, none of the cellular providers are any good, really. By nature, they are evil. But it's better than the alternative that I had. And one of the nice things is they have this sharing plan. So at some point we can invest in like getting caffeine a phone here. Because I have to bring the phone with me and I only have the one, so when she's visiting, she's basically at home without a phone, which is no good. And it wouldn't cost a whole lot extra. It's just basically pay for the device and you're golden. Oh, stop, seriously. Oh, man. This is problematic. It's kind of hard to see what I'm doing. Do I have more? Oh, I have tons more. Okay, good. So So it's almost sort of, it's cold today, but it's starting to warm up. Relatively speaking, in Maine, this would be considered quite warm. Man, I should probably... I don't know what I should probably... Doing it like this probably cause unanticipated errors. Oh, I can say I've been a little irritated with... Ever since I got this new Mac from work, it has been a... And it's a nice machine, I'll give you that, but there are problems. And they're kind of aggravating. I made a sort of an emergency video, the likes of which nobody has replied to, which is pretty much the normal for internet, wherein I demonstrate the issues that my Premiere, for video editing, the issues it's given me in terms of whenever I try to edit the timeline, the screen goes nuts, which is not cool at all. Hey, let me do this. Oh, let me just miss. That's always my absolute goal. Let's see. Oh. I'm not coordinating. I don't need to speak English. English is for wusses. The truly non-wuss language is obviously... Oh, I can't say anything because anybody would be insulted. Never mind. Let's see. Yeah, but it's not only that, but I found that if I try to resize... Because, Minecraft starts out as a certain size on my screen, which is pretty normal. And it's not the same size as I need for creating or recording. I want 720p. There's no point doing 1020p for something as lame as this. But, blah, 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 blah. 720p. So, I have to adjust the size, and that was never a problem before on the old Mac. But this one, it locks up the computer. It's dead. At that point, it's gone. And that's quite frustrating. And I don't know why. There's got to be some sort of video like OpenGL or whatever it is. I'm not terribly familiar because it's not... It really should be my field as someone who wants to make games, but I just, I'm gonna end up just, if I ever make my games, it'll be logic and AI, not graphics. I'll have to rely on somebody else to be the graphics guru, which is kind of sad because I started in graphics and I was on a trajectory for it, and then really college smashed that all over the place because they had no interest in that kind of stuff when I went. And that was a bit of a handicap, and sort of unrelated. But anyways, shoot, where was I going with that? It's one of the problems. I'm a tangential person. One thought sparks another. But anyways, yeah. If I try to resize Minecraft after the game has started, it just vaporizes. So that's no good. Like literally, my computer turns into vapor, which is not at all true. But I do have to forcibly reboot. Then again, because it's an SSD, it reboots really fast. So there is that. It's just, I'm not sure I would trade one for the other at this point. Maybe there's a hardware update or something I can do to fix this. So, if anybody out there has any ideas or has experienced this kind of thing before, maybe they'll help me out. That would be appreciated. I'm muddling through, but still, I like things that work. And, up until now, my Macs have been actually very well-behaved machines. So I'm kind of sad that this one is not, especially since it's the newest of the bunch. So here, I've got this sort of thing that's beginning to look like a tower. Let me finish this off. rather than leaving holes. There we go. Is there more over here? There's a lot of holes in this, but, you know, over time. You guys ought to help me decide what to do with, you know, like along the edges here. Like levels 4 and 5, you know, counting from the top down. I've done 1, 2, 3, but here's, well, 4 and then 5. So what do, you know? I mean, I will absolutely come up with something, but if people want to leave suggestions, I will consider them. Seriously, for maybe or not, you know. I won't consider anything anybody sends to me unless I decide to, in which case I will. To be determined, perhaps. Oh. I'm just not having any good... Now, I really should be doing my CPAN stuff tonight. After I've done recording, and actually I potentially could stop at any time, but I want to accomplish a thing first. I will put on Avengers because I felt like watching it recently, and do some actual work. See, I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but in recording or, you know, doing these episodes, I am actually more limited in my playtime. And, you know, as someone who with a mild addiction to playing games, that's actually good. That I have this sort of... Oh, I ran out. Crappity crap. Can I get up from here? Or am I going to drown myself? Okay. Okay, I have a functioning stairwell, sort of. I guess this means there will be 2 magma pylons. Which, you know, if the point of the magma pylons is to, like, control the natural volcanic pressures beneath this island so that it never erupts uncontrolled, then having more pressure distributors would be good, wouldn't it? Because, you know, somebody out there has experience with controlling magma pressure, right? It's a human thing to do, isn't it? Oh, I should fill that in. That is meant to be filled in. There you go. Let's see, do I have any more blocks, or am I going to have to make some? I have a few, but I'm going to have to make some. Let's make some. Hip-boo. I watched a couple of Beomog's videos just recently. I said I would, and then I got around to it after a really busy week. It was pretty good. The textures that he has on his thing and the server he's playing on is quite different. I mean, this is pure vanilla. There's a certain thing I like about the purity of vanilla. I still want to modify it, and I realize at this point I can't for this world because to do so would pretty much ruin it, or, you know, require us to start over, and we're too invested. And, you know, there's a satisfaction to being able to accomplish this game, I think, as it was made, as opposed to modding the hell out of it. I did look at, like, extra biomes, XXL, whatever, and I liked those, but I downloaded this world from the server and tried it out. And what as a single player using this thing from Feed the Beast, but it was just that one, just the extra biomes, and it created hard edges. They, like, a biome would suddenly change, and that just kind of, it ruined the plausibility of the world in a way that made it undesirable. So we'd have to literally start from scratch, which is too bad, because what I really want is stuff that doesn't change how vanilla works. It just adds more content, like more creatures, more biomes, more trees, more minerals, like especially for building blocks. Like one of the nice things about Dwarf Fortress, which is what we're waiting for at this point, I should check because my RSS feeds have not worked in a million years, and for all I know it's come out and I just haven't read about it. But no, they would have said something on Facebook. Anyways, point being, there are many stones and they're relatively accurate. And but you know, they fall under a number of like 16 colors because it is a limited game. You know, so you have like a dark gray and a middle gray and a light gray. Minecraft has gray. Gray. And that's it, gray. We don't even have brown rock. We have netherrack. We have cobble. You know, there's a few colors of wood, which is nice. But there's one color of stone. And in nature, that's just not how it happens. There are many, many colors of stone. Oops, I have trapped myself. And so I would like to have those colors, you know, that's all. And I don't, and I won't. Because of wine. So yeah, you know, I would like to be able to mod to add in like basalt and orpiment and olivine and all these sort of semi-common minerals that you could potentially build building blocks out of. Someday. Oh, okay. Okay, I was confused for a second. Hip, 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 hip. Saying hip is a good sound effect. Alright, okay. I can call this for the moment, I think. I should fill it out down here, but that will take longer, I think. Let's do a little bit. Unless I don't want to. You know, I gotta catch up on all the Minecraft stuff. I haven't watched those in a while. I was hoping for like an Emmy reference from from Beef, but I haven't seen it or heard of it. But then again, like I am kind of behind, so maybe that's why. I don't have enough to finish this. It's going all the way to the bottom, isn't it? This is probably a bad idea right now. Okay, I suppose it's not that bad, man. Cheap. Right, so let's continue. Oh, I already did that one. So, okay. Never mind then. There's water in there too, in there. Okay. Oh. No, that's the wrong kind of stone. Okay. So yeah, this is no good. Okay, it just fills right back up. If I were smart, I would do something else entirely. I just don't know what. That'll take some work, really. Maybe something that doesn't fall like dirt. That'll help. But hey, you know, this is not insignificant progress. I've made a defining stairwell in a relatively short period of time. So, you know what? I'll call this an episode, guys, and I hope it was reasonably enjoyable, and I wasn't the worst rambler today. Let's see. So yeah, if anybody has any opinions on these buildings, I would appreciate hearing it. I suppose this is where I should tell you guys, hey, like my video and subscribe, and tell your friends to subscribe and like my videos, and share them on Facebook and Twitter, and print them out one frame at a time and post them on the sides of buildings and stuff like that, so that people will know I exist and watch my videos and listen to me ramble about nonsense. Sounds good, huh? Alright, it is now your mission. Go forth.